5 overlooked countries not enough Americans visit. Underrated countries top their list of places everyone should visit, yet aren't at risk of over-tourism. The responses zigzag across the globe from quiet coastlines in Africa to island countries rich in music and mountainous terrain, plus everything from coral reefs and UNESCO World Heritage Sites to national parks and underground museums. Make sure hit subscribe button for more videos. Let's check out list. Number 5. Kyrgyz Republic. If you're in the Kyrgyz Republic, you're probably on top of a mountain. A range called Tian Shan, Heaven Lake in Mandarin Chinese, covers about 80% of the country, and most of it is at least 1,000 meters above sea level. Its geological features vary from peak to peak, but the landscape is tied together by exquisite, swoon-worthy beauty. You can traverse the country by foot or by horse, embracing the nomadic life by staying in yurts and feasting on stews. And if that all sounds near mystical, you'll be surprised to discover how truly wondrous the country is. But first, you have to discover it exists at all. This Central Asian country rewards exploration and effort, from its capital of Bishkek to the sprawling countryside that comprises most of its landscape, where eagles soar and livestock roams. In the Kyrgyz Republic, the large, circular tents are lined with felt or skins and usually heated with dried cow dung-powered iron stoves. After a 12-mile hike up and down 3 dozen types of rocks, laying down in one of them feels like sleeping on the world's softest fleece-lined leggings. Number 4. Georgia. In the last decade, once fraught Georgia has redefined itself, cracking down on crime, paving roads, building new airports, and promoting itself abroad. The most dangerous thing in Georgia these days, cha-cha, the zillion-proof moonshine that locals will foist on you in the outdoor markets. You might have to squint to find it, but don't be fooled by Georgia's diminutive geography. Everything here is dazzlingly over the top, from the epically cheesy khachapuri to the whirlwind folk dances to the Alps-shaming Caucasus Mountains that tower over the landscape. Come for the hiking, there's a new Transcaucasian trail that winds through some of the highest settlements in Europe, and stay for the food, an East meets West smorgasbord of slurpable soup dumplings, herb-centric salads, and walnut-thickened stews. Wherever you are in Georgia, expect old-world hospitality at every turn and a steady stream of wine, which Georgian Stone Age ancestors arguably invented. And don't forget to pile into a 4x4 and zoom up to Georgidi Trinity Church, a mossy candlelit chapel that was built above the cloud line in the 14th century. It sits in the shadow of Mount Kazbek, Europe's 5th highest peak and the mountain to which Prometheus is said to have been chained after stealing fire from the gods. Number 3. Sint Eustatius. When Americans consider a Caribbean getaway, a few key countries come to mind: the Bahamas, Cayman Islands, Turks and Caicos, Barbados, St. Lucia, the DR, maybe St. Thomas. But while those familiar haunts undoubtedly offer everything you'd need for a memorable beach vacation, sun and sand, luxe hotels, fresh seafood, cold Caribs, and warm, lapping waves, they also tend to be chock full of tourists at any given time. But this tiny Dutch outcropping sandwiched between Street Kitts and Nevis and Saba, that's the place to go for those in the know. Stadia, as it's called by locals, is basically one big national park broken up by quality family-run restaurants and bars, some of the best snorkeling and scuba diving around, and cushy places to stay by way of Golden Rock Dive and Nature Resort. So if you're someone who likes a little natural adventure served alongside your lazing by the water, Stadia's modest 13 square miles have you covered. Charter a boat to check out the colorful reefs, miles upon miles of thriving fauna, sea turtles, tropical fish, and a real shipwreck or two. Wine, dine, and dance the night away with locals and expats at Bobby's Beach Club, Boardwalk Cafe, or the cozy, quirky Cool Corner. Or get schooled in the island's fascinating history at the Sint Eustatius Historical Foundation Museum before indulging in a little R&R at the salt-water-fed lagoon back at Golden Rock, all without seeing a single cruise ship unloading its sunburnt masses on shore. Number 2. North Macedonia. Wedged between Greece and several popular Balkan countries, North Macedonia might not be the cradle of civilization it advertises itself as, but don't write it off just yet. Skopje, the once humdrum capital of the former Yugoslav Republic, is today spiked with giant statues and monumental folk-classical buildings. It sort of feels like North Macedonia managed to transport Caesar's palace in Vegas and drop it in the center of town. There are around 50 new statues, including the 100-foot sculptures of Alexander the Great and his father, Philip. Marble triumphal arches and sculpture-lined bridges compete for attention with the ancient Turkish bazaar, home to tea shops, mosques, and modern museums. All this makes for an amusing stroll around Skopje. Take a break to indulge in some ubiquitous grilled meat and a pint of beer, which costs a mere few coins. Then head to Lake Ohrid, one of the deepest lakes in Europe, to relax in the ancient lakeside town of Ohrid. Number 1. Estonia. Finland's neighbor to the south, Estonia, counts itself as one of the most overlooked, not to mention gloriously affordable, countries in the entire EU. Already replete with scenic attractions, picture hilltop castles, churches, and fortresses, craggy Baltic islands and old-growth forests, and ancient bogs. The former Soviet state has experienced a sweeping cultural renaissance in recent years that's made an already attractive country look even better. Across Estonia, dozens of vibrant festivals go down each year, from the traditional, century-old song and dance festival and night of the ancient bonfires to modern parties like Tallinn Music Week and the Craft Beer Festival. In the Estonian capital of Tallinn, among the best-preserved medieval cities in the world, you'll find over 60 museums and galleries, as well as one of Europe's mightiest digital cities. This is the hometown of scores of tech startups and established giants like TransferWise and Skype. We'd also be remiss to mention that Estonia recently became one of the first countries to offer a visa specifically for digital nomads. If you've become interested in ditching the US for greener pastures, and who can blame you, a home on the Baltic Sea might just be the place you've been seeking. These 5 overlooked countries not enough Americans visit in 2024. Make sure hit subscribe button for more videos.